All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is attorney Angelique Holloway. Most of my clients just call me Angie. I am the managing partner of Edmonds Law Office, a small business law firm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And in this video, we're going to talk about the fact that ChatGPT is not a lawyer and is a pretty crappy one at drafting contracts. So the goal of this video is for me to teach you why using AI to draft your contracts can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in just 8 minutes. All right, so let's get this timer started and let's get into it. All right, so what is our agenda for today? We are talking about you cannot have an attorney-client relationship with ChatGPT or AI, right? It has bad law. It is creating a contract based upon the input data that it has, right? So if it has old law, bad law, incorrect law, law from Massachusetts, all of that information is being used when it's generating you contracts, right? It's missing specificity. Most of the time when you're asking AI for a contract, it does not have the level of nuance that is necessary to protect your business. And lastly, it creates thousands of dollars of risks as you're scaling your business. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Angie. I'm an Atlanta business lawyer, and we draft custom contracts to keep more profits in your pockets. I have been practicing law for almost 8 years now. For the first 6 years, I was doing litigation in federal and state courts, breach of contract, discrimination claims, things of that nature. In the last 2 years, I have transitioned to 100% transactional practice, and my goal is to keep you out of court and to keep more money in your pocket as a business owner. All right, so let's show and tell. All right, so let's ask ChatGPT, right, in real time to draft an operating agreement for a multi-member LLC. All right, so excuse my typing here. We're going to ask ChatGPT to pretend that they are an expert Georgia business lawyer and to draft an operating agreement that has 3 members with equal rights and responsibilities, right? So let's look into it and see what they have going on here. Not sure. All right, y'all, let's look and see what ChatGPT is going to do for us, right? All right, so we have formation, name, principal, registered agent. We have purposes here, management, profit, losses, and distributions, transfer of interest. All right, dissolution, and miscellaneous. All right, so first of all, let me just tell you guys right off. If you have a 2 or 3 page operating agreement, I promise you it is not specific enough to protect your interests and the opportunities that may arise in the context of your business relationship, right? If your business takes off, right, and you want to be bought out of the company, or you want to take on investors, any number of things that could happen over the course of your entrepreneurship journey, you want to make sure that this first seminal document has the specific information to protect your interests, whether that's blood and sweat equity, whether that's your financial interest, your reputation, all the work that you've done to build that. So let's get into some of the issues with this ChatGPT contract, right? All right, y'all. So one of the number one things that I see that arise, and it's a lot of times it's too late, okay, is management of your LLC, right? It is not a wise decision to make everyone equal partners. Now, it sounds good on paper. Everybody wants to be treated the same, but the investment for each individual is going to be different. Maybe someone is quitting their job and they're going to be the CEO, right? Maybe one person is footing the bill and they're going to be the one that's doing the initial capital contributions, right? And so even though there is a strong tendency for everyone to say, hey, we're going to all be equal, we're going to all share in all the things, it creates chaos when it comes to managing your business, right? So according to ChatGPT, this is the management provision that we have. The company shall be managed by its members. Each member shall have an equal say in the management and operations of the company. That's the easiest way for you to end up in a disagreement or in court, okay? So the better thing for an operating agreement to specify is what roles will each member have, what are the specific duties of those roles, and what are the fiduciary responsibilities of each role, right? So you don't want to leave it to that person to make the decision on their own. If we're going to come into business together, we need to sit at the table and say, okay, I'm responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's really critical to make sure people understand who's responsible for what when you're starting a company. All right, we have 4.2, the decision-making provision that was drafted by ChatGPT. It says decisions shall be made by unanimous consent of the members unless otherwise specified, right? All right, first of all, there is no other specification, so we're going to disregard that portion of that provision. But unanimous requirements are incredibly difficult, especially when you're scaling a business, because you are likely to have disagreements. Maybe one member wants to do a merger. Maybe another member thinks you want to offer additional services. Maybe another member wants to expand to different territories. Having a requirement for unanimous consent creates what we call a deadlock, right? So that's if one person wants to hold out, maybe, 2 of the members are in good standing, the third member is not. And so now you guys are at deadlock. You can't move forward because you need all 3 of you to agree to make a decision. And that's the easiest way for you to end up in court, having to dissolve your business or bankrupting the business. And ain't nobody got time for that, okay? Let's look at all of the things that ChatGPT missed when it created our operating agreement for these 3 members, right? So there's no deadlock provision. We just talked about that. There's no fiduciary duties. Okay, now this is really, really, really important. I cannot emphasize this enough. So normally people, in a business relationship, the entity, the people who are managing the entity owe a fiduciary obligation to act in the best interest of that entity, right? That is normally left incredibly vague, right? So you are supposed to be loyal to the entity, act in the best interest of the company, and what is considered reasonable in the normal course of business, right? If you choose to leave it that way, then you are opening yourself up for a whole host of disagreements. What I always recommend is that you specify out, okay, hey, we are going into real estate investing, or we're going to open up, a medical practice, whatever that business is. Take the time to specify out, okay, each of the members, these are the 10 things we expect you to do as a managing member of this company, right? So before we hire new doctors, you need to check their licensure. You need to verify they're insurable. You need to have probationary periods. You need to have reference checks. There has to be a system in place such that you know what you're expecting of the other person and vice versa. Number 3, there is no opportunity for ongoing capital contributions. So according to ChatGPT, everyone's going to contribute the same, right? So we're all going to put $100 in the pot, right? So what happens when you're trying to expand, right? We need to invest to get this capital in order to buy commercial property. And 2 of the members have money, but the third person doesn't. How does that affect your membership interest, right? There's no ADR terms, alternative dispute resolution, right? So that means if stuff hits the fan, we can't agree, there's no deadlock, what's going to happen? We're going to court because we have no mediation, we have no arbitration terms, no way for us to systematically avoid ending up in court. There's no attorney fee provisions. It's missing definitions. I cannot tell you all the things that are missing from this agreement. The operating agreements that we draft here at Edmonds Law are usually 80 to 100 pages. So compare a 3-page document to 100 pages. It's so much. And so this GIF on the side here is indicative of the situation that I've seen so many people be in when they fail to invest in a properly drafted operating agreement. All right, y'all, we're coming down on time. Okay, so what is the ultimate answer that I want you guys to be able to gather from this specific video. First of all, ChatGPT is not a lawyer. Even ChatGPT is smart enough to tell you that, hey, it is crucial that you have a legal professional review and customize this agreement to ensure it complies with specific needs and legal requirements, okay? So ChatGPT is telling you need a lawyer as well, right? These specific provisions are too vague to help you when it matters, right? So the gray areas and the loopholes and the lack of specificity will land you in court. And lastly, it creates a shaky foundation, right? When you are drafting business formation documents, this is your business prenup. And if you fail to properly plan with your prenup, you're going to end up having a really bad divorce in your business. All right, y'all. So how do we fix crappy contracts here at Edmonds Law? We take a strategic approach to risk mitigation with your business, right? So we get to know your business, we research your industry, your operations, we're looking at your website, your processes, your onboarding, how do you generate new clients, all of those things. You're going to complete a questionnaire that's going to take you less than 2 or 3 minutes, and we're going to use that information to create a bespoke risk analysis of your business, right? We're going to look at your contracts, we're going to look at your insurance, we're going to evaluate your insurance and make sure you have adequate coverage, and then we're going to look at your team and your operations. Once we have created that plan, we are going to implement that over 3, 6, or 12 months. We're going to identify the biggest risks in your business and we're going to fix them. So that may be a contract revision, that may be increasing your insurance coverage, that may be making sure you have a system for e-signing, all of your new onboarding. We're going to provide you with some insurance recommendations, making sure that you haven't done anything to void that insurance in the event that you need it. And lastly, we're going to help you with human resources management, onboarding, making sure that your employees are going through the process correctly and that you're not subjecting your company to unnecessary fines or penalties on the employment compliance side. Once we've done all that, we're going to continue to check in with you every 6 to 12 months, depending on their level of growth in your business, and make sure we're making updates as needed to your contracts, your insurance, and alignment of your risk strategy. All right, y'all, that's it. I'm a little bit over on time, so probably 9.5 minutes instead of the 8. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. If you're interested in working with us and you're ready to upgrade your contracts, please click the link below to book a time to speak with a member of my team or myself. We look forward to working with you. Bye.